Hey pastry puffs, welcome back to Strudel Reviews. It's your girl Strudel, and today, for the final episode of Strudel's Throwback Reviews, for the time being, we are going to be reviewing the Witty Toys Winx My Fairy Friend Sirenix Fairy Flora with the Season 8 screening. Again, as we all know from Bloom and Stella's reviews, that Bloom, Stella, and Flora were available at Ollie's last year around Christmas time, but they didn't make a Musa, Tekna, or Aisha for this line, so it was only the three of them, so therefore the collection is complete until I can track down a Musa, Tekna, and Aisha, and if anybody lives internationally who can, give me any pointers on where to look for those, you guys can DM me at Strudel Collects on Instagram, because any kind of advice would be appreciated. Because, I have a nostalgic attachment to the Winx, and since I have half of them, I would love to have the other three to have a complete Winx Club. But, us Americans are not very lucky. Alright, to start off, she's got, the normal Winx eyebrow, which actually hers, surprisingly, is the same color as her natural hair. Because we all know Bloom and Stella are respectively blonde and redhead, and they have brown eyebrows. Flora, who is a naturally brown hair, has matte eyebrows to match. And again, Flora's got that same eyeshadow with the glitter that Bloom and Stella have. But her eye shape is actually pretty faithful to the original, Witty / Mattel / Jack specific screening, where Flora and specifically Musa had different eye shapes. As we all know, Flora is Hispanic Latina coded, and Musa is Asian coded, specifically East Asian coded, but we will get into that later on. And you can tell she has the same hot pink lips that the other girls have. And mine looks like it has a massive chip in it. Maybe not. I'll have to get Bloom and Stella down to compare to that towards the end. And then you can tell she has a green dress, with the same blanket material that Bloom and Stella have, and then hopefully later down the line, fingers crossed, that Musa, Tekna, and Aisha also have, because these are the same outfits that they used when the first run of the Sirenix dolls came out. And then her tutu is this, green, I think, this green tutu material, and then it's got, a lavender color on top. And then her leggings actually do a pretty decent job of matching the dress pretty much almost 100%. And it is a foresty light green color with, pink scales. And which I had noticed, the previous version, although the dresses are the same, the leggings, the only difference is that the first release had, solid colors going down the legs to make it look more show accurate. But since these are re-releases with a different screening, these are plain, so I figured I would, make the announcement now. And then we go down to the boots, and they are literally the same boots that Bloom and Stella have, which, again, reused boot mold. But hers are a darker pink, see-through plastic material, while Bloom's is, a light pink, and Stella's is, a lavenderish purple. And they actually have molded-on scales, which I had to take closer looks at to realize, hey, that's pretty cool. And then her wings, you can tell, very similar to like the Jack's Pacific wings, where they have the little mechanisms that go in the back, and then the little plastic wing holders, and then the wings being again the same reused wings that I'm pretty sure the initial Sirenix run had, being the same wings, but instead of the border being yet like gold like Stella's or blues like blue like blooms. Flora's is like this purpley pink color, which is kind of cute. And then like we know they have like their heads turned like side to side, can't look up and down. They have no articulation in the arms, and then they have like similar knee articulation to the Jack's Pacific wings. And another doll line that we're going to start reviewing tomorrow. But you probably know what that is if you've seen my TikToks. Strudel. Strudel cosplays there, but I'm thinking of changing all of my social media handles just to match my YouTube name. So it makes like traffic and everything better and everything is more cleaned up, if that makes sense. Let's see. Let's get into her hair. You can tell Flora has her beautiful natural brown hair, and she's got hot pink highlights, and she doesn't have her hair in a ridiculously high ponytail. Because for whatever reason, Flora and Techna are the only ones who didn't have their hair in high ponytails. Flora has like a half up, half down style, which is very, very cute, very adorable. I love this. And then Techna has just her normal, like, bob cut. Oh, and I forgot she's got little tendrily bits that are the same color as her hair, and that's pretty obligatory with specifically Bloom, Stella, Flora, and if you guys have the older Sirenix dolls, also Aisha. Again, Techna and Musa are excluded, as Musa has the bangs with the little side tendrils on the side, and Techna has a bob cut, and I know this because Google Images exist. And I've been kind of searching for Techna, Musa, and Aisha since I was able to acquire Flora. I was like, let me see if I could get lucky enough to find the other three so I could have a somewhat cohesive Winx set. And let me show you Flora's hairbrush. Literally the same mold, but hers is like a darker pink than Bloom's, and Stella's is just completely lavender. And from what I've seen for Musa and Aisha in the box, Musa's color is a red brush. Aisha's is like a greeny, like a greenish bluish color. And I'm assuming Techna's is purple, but like you can't really find any like stock photos of her in the box. Because for whatever reason, Techna is just so damn hard to find, and it is so irritating. And I'm bringing down Stella and Bloom so you guys can see what they look like as a set. Okay, cool. No lip chips, really. But I really love how like they are cohesive as a set, and I'm fingers crossed hoping to find the other three, as they are going to be what I am dubbing my grails for the year. I am hoping by the end of the year to get the Sirenix, Musa, Techna, and Aisha. And if any international viewers do see this, please contact my Instagram at Strudel Collects with any like information on how to make that possible, because I would be forever grateful for that. Because, you know, Europeans like, people who live in Europe and, like, other countries have, like, a difficult time finding... Hold on one sec. So anyway, as I was saying, like, you know, Europeans have, like, a really difficult time finding specific doll lines that we can easily access here in America. Like, for example, Mermaid High is probably a good one because I've seen a few people on Instagram on the Mermaid High official page just, like, asking about, like, when they'll be available in Europe. Which again, you know, they, which, you know, Spin Master is not as big as a company like Mattel or MGA. And Spin Master is the ones responsible for the Mermaid High dolls. They're kind of like, let's say, the Jakks Pacific. They are like Jakks Pacific, which they are a smaller company, so they are most likely not as easily accessible to, like, European markets. Kind of like how Witty Toys of Winx is not easily accessible to statewide markets, which is highly depressing. Highly depressing that they didn't really do so well here in the States, because, like, people like me, and I'm probably going to, like, maybe give you guys a hint of what my age is, but I was a small child when when the first 3 seasons of Winx came out, and it was the 4Kids dub. If you know, you know. That's how old I am. And then when they brought Winx Club back stateside with the Nickelodeon dub, I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I was literally just out of the demographic for Nickelodeon. But did I still watch the show? Yes, because I have a specific nostalgic attachment to Winx. Because it is, like, the one show that I, like, have a vivid like, the one show that I actually remember from my childhood. I don't know why, though. It's just, like, the one show that I remember from my childhood. And I guess it's because I've always had an interest in, like, the fantasy stuff, like fairies and things like fairies, monsters, the monsters of Monster High, the fairy tale characters of Ever After High, which that was also, like, just out of my age demographic, because it was, like, what, 2010 when Monster High first came out, and I was literally the last age, like, the highest age that was recommended for Monster High. But, like, I used to watch, like, the webisodes. I would watch other people, like, review dolls of like, review their dolls. Speaking of which, if you guys hadn't seen the leaks for Monster High, there are going to be pre-productions of Frankie, Claudine, Draculora, and Laguna. And I am going to be hunting those down specifically for my nostalgic attachment to Monster High. Like, I have this nostalgic attachment for Winx. And it's really because, like, I know most people would be okay with having, like, what they can access in America, but for me, I have, like, I just love each member of the Winx. Although, me as an adult, my favorite characters go in the order of Musa, Tecna, Flora. Very happy to have. She is my third favorite character from the show. And then after Flora would be Aisha, then Stella in fifth place, and then Bloom in, like, dead last. Which is funny because when I was a kid, my favorite characters were Bloom, Stella, Flora. and then Musa, Tekna, and then Aisha, Musa, and Tekna. But as an adult, Musa and Tekna are like my top 2 favorite characters. And then like Bloom and Stella had fallen to the bottom of the list, but that doesn't mean that I don't love them any less. I'm surprised I didn't rant about like how angry. I'm surprised I didn't really rant about the Winx today. Because, well, I kind of did. But again, as I've stated, fingers crossed that I hopefully will be able to have Musa, Tekna, and Aisha here with the rest of us. And when I mean the rest of us, I mean Bloom, Stella, and Flora, and myself by the end of the year, because I can't just leave any of the Winx out. And with that wraps up Flora's review, and for the time being, Strudel's throwback reviews. If I do find the Musa, Tekna, and Aisha, there will probably be like 3 more episodes, and then that would be it on the Winx. So with that, I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye!